And now it's a great time to introduce our next speaker. His name is Venchito Tampon. Venchito is an extraordinary entrepreneur and the CEO and co-founder of Sharp Rocket. His experience and passion for link building have propelled Sharp Rocket to be a premier name in the industry. But that's not all. Venchito is also the driving force behind SaaS Pursuit, a specialized content marketing and link building agency that focuses on helping SaaS companies reach new heights. He has a proven track record of delivering scalable and effective link building strategies that work. Today, Venchito will be sharing his expertise on the topic of scalable link building that works. I encourage you to actively engage in this interactive session by sharing your thoughts. Don't forget to ask your questions. Hello, Venchito. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Hi, Nadila, and to all our guests.
Wow, we are so excited to hear you, to see you today and hear you today. Could you please
Yeah,
share
me
your
too.
presentation with us?
Sure, sure. Yeah. All right. So,
Super.
can I get started?
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. Okay. So my topic earlier was a very very good presentation. Talks about e-commerce SEO, and I think a few slides here will also be relevant to some of you guys who are doing e-commerce SEO. So just a very quick introduction of what I'm doing. Is my audio clear? Uh, just let me know. So all right. I own this link building agency called named the Sharp Rocket, and in 2015 we started it and specializing with scalable link building campaigns, broken link building, guest posting, infographics, and so for the past 10 years we built over 10,000 links across 200 to 300 different projects, and we've done that on with processes and systems that later I'll be sharing with you. And also I've started two other companies which is under the Sharp Racket brand. First is the SaaS Pursuit. SaaS Pursuit is basically just a scalable link building agency specifically for SaaS websites. So we've had clients like Shopify, um, Canva, and so all of those clients. And so these are just some of our clients. We have Credible, Vivo, Itigo, Shopify. Some of you guys may be familiar with these brands. Now, who among you, like, can you see the chat box here? Who among you have done any link building campaigns? Either it's for your e-commerce website, for your SaaS, for your your local company, your brand. Can I see in the chat box, please? Because today we're going to talk about link building. But in any link building campaigns, we always start with link gap analysis. Now, this may be quite advanced to some of you, but basically, link gap analysis is just determining how many links you have to catch up on your competitors. So, let's say your competitors have like 2,000 or 3,000 links, all coming from DR30 plus domains. Now, all you have to do is to catch up on their existing quantity of links, so that you'll be able to dominate the search, outrank these sites. Now it's very easy to actually analyze the link up. Just looking, identifying the number of links that your website already have, while at the same time also analyzing using Ahrefs tool the number of links or the quantity of links that your competitors already acquired. And then from that you just simply subtract it, and then you can easily get the link gap score. And then from that link gap score, what you'll do is basically just divide it depending on your timeline. In our case, we've got engagement like 6 month, 12 month plan with our clients, and so we divide the total number of link gap by the timeline. Let's say 6 months or 12 months. And the reason why you have to do link gap analysis is that so that you will have a goal, an objective in mind, especially if you are working with SEO team, link building teams. You need to have like a goal and objective, and so you can, through that you can actually identify or determine if the links that you're actually building has an impact on the page that you are trying to rank for. And so let me give you like 10 scalable link building tactics. I want to call it tactics. It's not a strategy, because tactics are basically just, simple, tips or simple areas that you can improve, not necessarily the entire overview or your campaign. The first thing is what we call the content gap analysis in guest blogging. Now, how among you have received any of this, you know, spam email, guest post pages? I receive this all the time, like 10, 20, or 100 plus pitches. And so one of the challenges with the link builders is and SEOs is actually providing value with their guest post. When you try to create a campaign and assume that one will reply to you simply by just sending a crappy email, it's pretty obvious that you won't get any results from that campaign or project. So what you can do instead is to actually identify what are the topics that your target guest blogs or your publications haven't covered yet. So in this case, I use Ahrefs to see what are the certain gaps from my target blogs or publications, so that when I present these topics are simply not just crappy uh, ideas, but will really move the needle towards the in terms of rankings, in terms of the content visibility of the publication I'm writing to. Also, what we can do here is basically just understanding your publication or your target guest books. Very basic, very simple, but I think most link builders and SEOs forget that idea. Secondly, you can also do some kind of broken link building. Basically, broken link building is getting links from existing resources and guides, and that's pointing to your existing content that's very informational. We all know that's very hard. It's very difficult to acquire links to your category pages, to your product pages or landing pages. But it's much easier for us to get backlinks straight to our informational content. So the process goes like this. So but first, let me just define what is a linkable audience. Linkable audience is basically just audiences that get more attention from curators. They belong to communities which is highly academic, medical, and government interests. So to give you some examples, these are just some examples of linkable audiences. We have teachers, caregivers, parents, veterans, job seekers. Now, all of these linkable audiences have high intent to actually link to other websites, because they want their readers to get more information on the specific topic or subject matter that they are discussing. So the more you actually reach out to this linkable audiences, the higher chances you can see from your results, because they already have that intent, they already have that objective in mind to link to you. So how can you do this? Basically, just create user resource guides specific for that. So this is one of our affiliate sites before. So what we do is we target parents, and so now we created a guide for parents, which is the ultimate parents guide to sleep for kids. Now, another linkable audience is those people who are suffering with PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder. So we created a resource guide specifically to target their pain point, which is their sleep problems or trauma. So when we do that, we basically just reach out to all of the you know um, curators, webmasters with resource sections or links pages, they call it. So you can use Citation Labs, Link Prospector, or Ahrefs to automate finding these pages or domains. Basically, we have a cheat sheet where we use to manually find these link pages on Google. You can also check similar content for link opportunities. Basically, if you know that uh, competing resource guide got a lot of links from other curators, simply plug in that into an Ahrefs site explorer, and then you can see all of their links. Then basically just reverse engineering, acquiring those types of links for your own websites. So once you already have those links pages, what we do as what we determine as our proposition is basically identifying broken links on the page, so that we recommend it to the webmaster, and then tell them that, hey, you've got this, broken links on your page. Would you mind to replace them with good links, with links that are functioning? So those links that are functioning, one of them would be the link to our client's resource page. So basically just that, replacing that the broken link they already have, and then getting the link from that value proposition. Next, basically, in link building campaigns, you've got to organize content. You've got to organize links pages. You've got to organize contact details. So you can do that using Pitchbacks, BuzzStream, or basically just a Google Sheets. Yeah, and here, as I've said, we use fixing broken links as our value proposition, something that we can offer to them. Now, the number one question you have to answer when it comes to bronchial building or any type of outage is basically, why should I care? Why should your target webmaster, your target guest blogger, or the blogger or publisher should care about your content? Basically, just answering this question will define whether or not you will succeed in your outreach campaign. Next would be, and so we got this like these are just examples of our next. Now the next would be the source to content strategy. Now, home, you're familiar with statistics content, anything that's data driven. So basically, this tactic involves that creating content that other users, other publishers, other bloggers can reference with or to. So we basically, if you, regardless of your industry, there are topics that will require statistics or even templates or even letters and proposals, because what you want here is you would want to rank these pages for searchable queries, referential keywords. And so once this page is ranked, the good thing that will happen is that these publishers who are actually looking for references will eventually link to you. So it's like, you don't do any kind of link building. You're actually earning links simply by ranking these statistics pages. So basically, creating the content, right? It's like sleep facts. We have an example here: 15 sleep facts you probably didn't know. We also created some kind of statistics. Now you can get statistics or data or information from these sites: data.gov, World Bank, statista.com, and any other reliable sources. You simply curate their information, make it a very comprehensive guide or statistics content. Maybe you can also share it to with other publishers so you can get more visibility. The fourth one is journalistic content. Basically, reaching out to people or journalists and news writers who can actually amplify your reach, the visibility of your content. Most of us are familiar with Harrow, help a reporter out, but we all know that there are thousands of bloggers and brands who actually want to get links from the sites that these journalists actually manage. And so what you can do as an alternative is actually using Twitter as one of your sources for journalists. So you can use these queries: looking to speak to, hashtag journal request, looking to interview, hashtag journal request, is there anyone expert? So basically, these are queries that you can use when you're searching on Twitter to find journalists, or actually looking for um, extra tips, extra quotes, and extra info that your brand or you guys have knowledge. You guys have an expertise and experience in. So very important for you to consider. We also automate this using IFTT. Next would be co-marketing. Co-marketing is basically engaging or partnering with other publishers so that you can now create a content that's very good. Because we all know this, two is better than one. Three is better than one. 10 is better than one. How much more when it comes to content marketing? If you can create 10x better than other publishers, then the content has higher chances of ranking for its target keyword. What you can do is basically, find influencers, thought leaders in your industry. People you want, people have an expertise and experience on the subject matter that you want to write about, and ask them questions. You don't have to be the most expert guy or guru in your space. You can also curate content simply by asking questions from influencers. You add their answers either to your own content or to your guest posts, and that's to add value to them. Well, at the same time, you also can get credit through the author bio or through the links. Now, the good thing with this tactic is that you don't have to force your writers to be an expert in the industry. Can simply ask other people to input their ideas in your content and make it easier for you to submit it to high authority publications, because those editorial editors from those top news sites or top authority sites have very strict editorial guidelines, have very high standards, and so once you get those expert tips and content, it's much easier for you to submit the guest post. Next would be job boards. Now this is good if your brand or are constantly hiring for new members, regardless of the departments. So you can use the job boards of your website to actually get things. Now this is one of our clients before. So they are in the tech industry, and they are have like hundreds of job positions available, and they create a job board for this. So what we do is we reach out to resource pages, websites that have job resource links. In this case, we have like in Boston. There are a few resources pages that we reach out to, and so we get links from their job boards. Yes, you can use these queries: job search resources, employment in URL resources, job hunting, and also in URL careers. Basically, offering this as your additional resource to their page. And also, very important is not just personalize your outreach pitch, your email pitch. You have to understand the context of the person you're writing to, because what you want at the end of the day is to get them read the email and reply to your message, but at the same time achieve that objective of actually getting the link. Very important, understanding the context. Next is where to buy pages for e-commerce. This is a very complementary tactic to the earlier presentation about e-commerce SEO. Basically, if you are a retailer, you've got suppliers and manufacturers for your products. Now, most SEOs are trying to complicate their link building campaigns when it comes to e-commerce. But basically, you can simply just list down all of the manufacturers or all of your suppliers, and then check if they have their own websites. Most of them have their own domains, and then if they have where to buy pages, that's where the gold mine is. You check, and then you get links simply by reaching out to them. And so by doing this, you can actually increase the number of links in the first 2 to 3 months, because you already have relationships with these suppliers and manufacturers, and so you don't have to you simply just leverage the relationships that your client or your brand or your team already have, and then use that as a proposition, acquiring links from this where to buy pages. Basically knowing them, and maybe and so the more suppliers or manufacturers your e-commerce have, the easier for you to do this, because you know the more number of manufacturer domains, the more number of links you can get. Okay. So basically matching all of these queries to the links pages, where to buy, simply just using that search query. Next would be inverted broken link building. So I've said earlier, broken link building is getting links from resources pages that have broken links, replacing it with the link of your client or your content. So what we can do now is doing the reverse approach. So finding broken pages that your team can create, and not just finding broken pages, but finding broken pages that have existing links, existing relevant links. And so when you recreate the content, you know, now here you've got to know, you got to determine if the content is actually functioning or not. Basically, using the tool archive.org, checking if your team has the resources, enough resources to create the content. So this is a Wayback Machine, simply looking at their past or previous versions of the page, checking if can actually recreate this and publish it on your page. Basically, this you create the most comprehensive version from the broken content. You can add, of course, other information to make it really comprehensive. Now, the next step is simply reaching out to the people who who have linked to the broken content or broken page. So that's the first set of publishers and linkers that you can reach out to. And from there, you can have guest posting. Now, podcast posting, basically, using podcast as one of your value proposition, creating guest posts, finding blogs, posting podcasts, prospecting, even knowing personalities or speakers who already have that brand awareness, and that they get a lot of interviews from podcasts, using the reverse engineering that. And then with podcasts, the good thing is that you get links from footnotes. And even if you don't get any links, the best thing is brand awareness for your company or your website. So the more brand awareness your site have, or can acquire, the higher market share that you can get in the industry. And then last would be the link reclamation. Link reclamation, basically knowing who actually mentioned your product or your brand. So I'm giving you one of this example. Let's say a publisher mentioned Backlinko or Brian Dean, or one of his coin terms, skyscraper. Now, one thing that Brian Dean can do is simply reaching out to all of the people who mentioned about about his page, about his term, about his content, and then getting links or reclaiming links from there. Also, you can check other your competitors if they have you know um, product tensions, and you think that you have products that are similar to them. Another is also reclaiming lost backlinks. Basically, the idea with link reclamation is understanding why does the webmaster remove the link in the first place. So when you understand that, it's much easier for you to reach out to them and ask for links. Now, bonus latest tools to end this presentation. We've got Surfer. If you guys want to really optimize the content from the on-page perspective, you will have that high rate or chances of ranking from the content and the on-page perspective. We also have exploring topics from Brian Dean. If you really want to, identify, determine what are the trending topics that haven't gone viral ready, but you can already create content about, so that you can get that initial traction before it actually blows up. And so we have Pitchbacks, we have Norbert for email tracking and outreach campaigns. And so yeah, that's it. See if you guys have any questions. Um, Feel free to reach out to me. Venchito at sharprocket.com, that page. I think earlier someone is asking for slides. You can simply just send me an email. Yeah, that's it.
Venchito, thanks a lot for your exceptional presentation. That was amazing. And I see several questions from our participants. The first one is from Bennett. He is asking, can links from websites on related content count as a backlink?
Backlinks from related content can count as backlinks, of course. Okay, so it's more of the relevance. The more relevant the website is to your brand, the better it is.
Okay, and one more question from Sohail. He's asking how we can build a strategy to rank websites through backlinks. Which techniques do we have to use for this? Is free technique still working or not?
Yeah, I think there are still free techniques that you can use. It's such that it will only you really have to leverage other resources like your time, your the skills and talent of your team. So there are still free techniques, but you've got to be willing also to spend some kind of money, especially nowadays that bloggers are asking for monetary thing before they can actually link to you. So there's still yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you again for your insightful speech. I would like to remind everybody that you can download the presentation of this amazing speaker. Just register for this conference and you will get his insightful presentation. Thanks again for your amazing speech. We are looking forward to seeing you soon. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you guys.